Great questions, by the way. Great job.
So I came here to kind of hear your side. I mean, it was not a full like, yay, I'm excited to hear someone try to take away my rights as a woman, but it was more like I wanted to hear what you had to say, and I agree with one thing I can name, which is like increasing parent like paternity leave or whatever, so or maternity or whatever it is. And so one thing I do want to say to the audience is, if I came here with no knowledge on abortion, you would have convinced me because of all your fear tactics and all of your like, let's bring out the gore, let's talk about like killing babies
not gory,
with a puncture.
ma'am.
Oh,
You
it
can go
was
to
gory
Google.
though. So what I wanted to say though was, I encourage everyone in this audience to actually realize like what it means to have bodily autonomy, to be pro-choice, which is not pro-abortion. It's pro-choose. No, yeah, I'm getting there. It's pro-choosing the right to have an abortion if you feel that's necessary. So I want to ask the question: what makes you qualified to tell everyone here that abortion is so bad and it should be illegal when, in reality?
Here we go with what makes you qualified. What qualifications do you have? That question is just null and void. Regardless of whether she had qualifications or not, you would still disagree. If she had all the qualifications in the world, you would still disagree. It's just a stupid question that they love to ask to divert from the point. It's a red herring, really. All you're doing is just asking that to discredit her. But even if she did have qualifications, you would still disagree. So it's just irrelevant. We all know it's an irrelevant question. And all this bodily autonomy and it's my body, it's not your body. There's another body inside of you. So that's just a stupid point.
Are you a scientist? Are you an OBGYN? Do you have any kind of degree that makes it so like we should be listening to you because you're, oh my gosh, you're this figure that is so correct on all these issues? Like I want to hear what you have to say about like your background that makes this, yeah.
Well, it's actually simple because abortion is a black and white issue. You don't have to be an OBGYN. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a scientist to read biology books and to Google when human life begins and to know innately that all human life is equally valuable. And when you start to disregard certain human beings because they're inconvenient to you or you see them as your property to dispose of how you see fit, the disastrous results we've seen throughout human history.
Though, as a counter to that, I wanted to say, I noticed a lot of your sources you seem to Google, so that kind of goes into my topic of like, what makes you qualified to talk about this if you Googled it?
I say
like, everything on the news is accurate,
all of
I
my
guess.
sources are Googleable because you don't trust what I have to say. So when I talk about, oh, that's Huffington Post, go to Huffington Post. Google who has better sex. Married people who are religious. If you want to know the medical studies that I cited, go to pubnet.gov. They're there. If you want to know what a fetus is, go to Google because dictionary.com pops right up and tells you a fetus is a human being and a member of our species. But it's actually very simple in the pro-life movement because what is abortion? What does it do? What does abortion do, ma'am?
It allows women to have the right to choose to move on with their lives and not have to...
What happens?
You see, what they feel, or well, they probably do realize it, but they're just such degenerate people that they can't fight their disgusting urges. You know, another option that women do have is to stop allowing men to enter them. You know, you have the option of closing your legs. That's another option you can do. You don't actually have to be sleeping around with random people that you don't want to commit to you. Or if you don't want to have kids, you know, you can close your legs. That's another option. But for some reason, they never seem to mention that point because it seems like they're like animals who can't control their urges or something like that. I don't know. That's what it seems like.
During an abortion.
Have a baby.
What happens during an abortion?
A clump of cells is taken out of the woman's body.
Does the clump of cells have a beating heart?
Well, I'm not a scientist, so honestly, what I will say...
You can Google it!
Yeah, okay, so everything on the internet is correct? I'm confused as to... This is sarcasm, by the way.
Ask any abortionist. Ask any abortionist.
Okay.
Ask any abortionist if the fetus they dismembered or they sucked out of existence or they induced a heart attack had a beating heart. They will tell you, yes.
Okay, but did they have a conscience? Did they have a mental, a brain that was fully formed and
So
could make decisions?
So your position on abortion then is you're okay with abortion because of conscience, Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm okay with abortion because women have the right to choose whether or not they want to
So
have a
then
baby.
why did you bring up a consciousness?
But do you agree that abortion kills a human being?
I don't agree that there's any kind of murder in the
Does it
dictionary
end the
definition.
life of a human being?
It ends the life of cells. It does not end the life of a Yeah, okay, so you're a clump of cells that has been developed over time, but once you leave the vagina, then you're a conscious human.
So you're
But
okay
before
with
that-
abortion. So if I'm pregnant, I'm 9 months pregnant, my husband leaves me, I lose my job, and I say, I can't have this baby right now. You're okay at 9 months before the baby leaves my vagina, the abortionist goes in, induces a heart attack, and kills that baby. You have seen nothing wrong with that.
Personally, I cannot speak to every pro-choice person, but personally, 9 months is late enough. However, I still believe, like...
Why is abortion to you wrong at 9 months? Why are you personally against abortion?
They just pick and choose when it feels right for them. There's really nothing else to it. She said consciousness, she brought up consciousness, and of course, you know, the usual. You bring up one point, oh, it's consciousness. Then you destroy them at that point, and she'll bring up, well, it's this stage I don't want it at. Now she's saying, well, 9 months is too late. But initially you said that as long as they're in the body of the woman, it's perfectly fine. Okay, now she said, if it's at the 9th month, and just before the baby's about to come out, is it fine? And now you're saying, actually, you know what? Not 9 months. It's just willy-nilly choosing here and there. Her logic follows through with her life. She just wants to take away anything that's inconvenient to her, whether it kills a human being or not. She doesn't really care, and abortionists don't care.
Because the fetus is about to come out of the vagina and it's going to become an actual human. It's like almost fully formed. Almost.
Okay, first of all, we know a child is fully formed way before 9 months, because have you ever seen a child who's born premature at 25 weeks? They're not malformed, right?
Sometimes they are. Sometimes they have like missing limbs. And
Well, that's genetic.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, like when I had the ultrasound of my child, my 4D ultrasound of my daughter, I wanted to get pictures of what she looked like at 25 weeks. She was fully formed inside of my womb. She didn't just like there's not a magical thing in the birth canal. You're like, oh, now there's a human being. That's location. Your humanity can't depend on your location. 2 inches of the birth canal doesn't change you don't magically become a human being because you pass through a woman's birth canal. Because guess what? 2 of my kids never passed through my birth canal. I delivered C-section. Were they not human beings? Next question.
These students will just forever come up with these stupid ideas, and just it's amazing that when they would just want to be right, and it's just an inconvenience is all it is. I would respect it more if they just said, I just don't want it, whether I believe it's a human or not. I'd actually, you know what, I would respect them more if they just said it is a human being, but because it's an inconvenience to me, yeah, I want to end the life of the human being. That's all it is. But they just want to lie and go on stupid points and say, well, it's consciousness, or well, it's whether it's in the belly or not, or well, you know, it's a clump of cells, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.